Welcome back into Stanford Softball Stadium. The first pitch is underway. It feels good to say that. After a short hiatus, softball is back on campus in the new digs. Could not be a better homecoming as the number 10 Stanford Cardinal host the number 3 Texas Longhorns, the reigning national champions, who already have a ranked win over Arizona earlier today. Meanwhile, the Cardinal, it's their first game of the weekend, as that is chopped up the middle, backhanded by Shepard at second. No chance with the speedy Ashton Maloney leading off with the base hit for the Longhorns.
Yeah, those are the hits that Maloney seems to get all the time. Just one of the best slap hitters in the game today. And how about for Alana Kraus? Pretty pressure-packed start very early in her career.
Alana Kraus in the circle for the Cardinal, the younger sister of recent graduate for Stanford softball, Reagan Kraus. She's throwing to behind the plate. It's the freshman Izzy Kakatian. Up to bat right now, Caden Henry, the center fielder, upperclassman, part of that 2025 national championship team. That's back to Kraus. She'll go to second to get the lead out. Smart play as River Mailer hangs onto it over at second base. One down.
And Jen, as I know you're going to go through the full lineups shortly, but we should note that Reese Atwood is not playing in this game. She was removed from the first game, so that's obviously a large part of the Texas lineup. Not that they lack any depth, but obviously their all-time leading RBI and home run hitter is out for today's game, which will help Kraus.
Kakatian keeps that in front. And we'll get to the rest of this Texas lineup. Leanne Good in the 3 spot, Katie Stewart the cleanup on deck. Ane Wallace in the 5 spot, Alyssa Sneed, Hannah Wells, Matea Lawson, and J.C. Nichols rounding it out. As that one catches the outside corner from Kraus. The rest of the defense as well, you got Jade Berry over at third base, River Mailer at short, as mentioned, the freshman Addison Shepard at second, sophomore Joey Economides at first. It's Kira Chan in left, Emily Jones in center, and Taryn Kern in right field today. The bunt from the right side, quick, Kraus gets it to first, not handled. Shepard drops it, taking third base. No problem, Caden Henry using the wheels.
Well, these top two in the order, you really cannot take a beat off between Maloney and Henry. They can really run, and so if you give them an inch, they will take it. And I think if the ball was caught by Economides, I think they would have had her at first base. But just in and out of the glove.
So runners on first and third here for the Longhorns. One of the most dangerous hitters in the country now up with Katie Stewart. Hit a bomb earlier today against Arizona in the 12-2 victory that the Longhorns secured to start their DeMarini Invitational.
Obviously, even without Atwood, this team does not lack for any type of thump. Stewart, one of their best home run hitters, who we saw earlier, as you said, pretty much put that game away for the Longhorns against Arizona.
Arizona coming in this weekend ranked number 16 in the country, Stanford number 10, Texas number 3, all in the ESPN poll. 2-0 count. Rocket down the third base line, just foul. Henry doing all she could to get out of the way there.
I'm telling you, quick feet come in handy, not just running the bases.
Henry, one of the speediest. She's already shown that off so far in this one. Also ran track in high school. All SEC second team a year ago. That's upstairs. Kakatian goes to first. Diving back safely is good.
Imagine for Kraus, first 3 games came against Fullerton and San Jose State twice. And obviously Fullerton is usually one of the best teams of the Big West, but she hasn't had a start like this yet in her college career, facing the reigning champs in a brand new stadium.
Took a little off. That one's going to be ball 4. Bases are juiced for the Longhorns. Katie Stewart will make way for Ane Wallace. Again, getting the start as designated player in this lineup. A lot of traffic to navigate early on here with 1 out for Alana Kraus, who, by the way, comes into this one with a 4.08 ERA, 2-0 record, and 12 innings pitched. 13 hits, Allowed 7 runs, 5 walks, 9 strikeouts. Here's Kaya Altmaier. Stepping in. Instead, that'll go out to left. The sac fly, gonna work out. So Kaya Altmaier standing in. Getting things going offensively for Texas. They're already up 1-0.
Yeah, originally they had Ane Wallace as the DP, but it is Altmaier that took the at-bat, one of their key transfers.
Still runners at first and second here. Alyssa Sneed stepping in. She'll take strike 1. And Altmaier knows what it's like to compete at a very high level, transferred from Arizona. So played her old squad earlier today and will do so again this weekend. That's swung on and fouled by Sneed. So jumping ahead here is Kraus.
Just hoping that Kraus, if she can get through this first inning, that would really do a lot to settle her nerves. I also think that Henry may be surprised at how close that throw was just a minute ago from Chan, because she didn't slide coming home. And, I mean, she got there plenty of time, but the throw was not far behind her.
There's a laser out there into left field, and that one's off the plate there to Sneed. 2 away. The 1-2 count here with 2 aboard. Way up and out, but Kakatian hangs on to it.
Well, the way this inning started, I think they would take just the 1-run surrender. Bases loaded, 1 out against, well, last year might have been the best lineup in the country.
Deuce is wild, 2-2. Grounded, left side, Barry scoops, fires across the diamond, and that's going to do it. Some damage done already. Kaya Altmaier with the sacrifice fly to bring in run number 1 for the Longhorns. They're up as we head to the bottom of the first. The Cardinal will pick up the bats. Back at it here in the bottom of the first inning. A quick start. The Texas Longhorns, number 3 team in the nation, up 1-0 over the number 10 Stanford Cardinal. Cardinal will pick up the bats for the first time here shortly, leading off, as we have seen throughout her career on the farm, Taryn Kern. River Mailer hitting second, Jade Berry third. Ava Gall, who is not in defensively behind the plate, you might have noticed, but she will be hitting in this lineup in the cleanup spot. Addison Shepard, Kira Chan, Joey Economidis, Izzy Kakatian, who is behind the dish, and the All-American center fielder Emily Jones rounding it out. And for Texas, in the circle, Cambria Salmon. Written in to get the start today. She's got a 2.33 ERA, 2-0 record in 18 innings pitched, 13 strikeouts, just 4 walks so far in this one. and she will be working with Katie Stewart behind the dish. So some defensive changes from what we're used to seeing on both sides today. Stewart, of course, very well capable catcher. We have been used to seeing last year's nation RBI leader, Reese Atwood, behind the dish. Stewart taking over the helm. Lawson over at third, Nichols at short, Good at second, Wells at first, Sneed, Henry, Maloney left to right in the outfield. First pitch to Kern in there for a strike.
Saw Viviana Martinez in game 1 of this series, who obviously was a massive piece that Texas did not have all of last season during their championship run. I'm wondering if they're just slow playing her in her return to the field.
That one catches the outside corner too, a quick 0-2, and that is exactly what they're doing, some load management as she comes back from that ACL injury that had her out last year. Got a base knock, a nice line drive into left against Arizona earlier today. Now a slight break, 0-2. Off the plate, Kern takes the waste pitch. Kern was an All-American as a freshman at Indiana before she transferred here to the farm. The Big Ten Player and Freshman of the Year. She is hitting .600 to start this season already, nearly a 2.0 OPS. That's grounded to the right side. Handled over to first base. Good. Makes it look good. One down.
Stepping into bat for Stanford, number 1.
An important first out there for Salmon.
Obviously, people know a lot about Tegan Cavan, who pitched in the game they just won against Arizona, went the distance.
Mailer lifts this into the outfield, ranging over into right center. Making the grab is Henry. A quick second out.
But Salmon, a big part of their pitching staff a season ago. Just a 2.48 ERA in her freshman season, mostly out of the bullpen.
She's one of a couple California kids on this Texas team as well, making her way back out west. 14 of this squad of 24 from Texas itself. Another quick strike from Salmon in to Jade Berry.
Yeah, most of the appearances she had last year were during non-conference. She appeared in 5 games during SEC play, but pretty highly touted freshman last season.
Berry hits it hard on the ground. Over to second base. Deja vu. And good to Wells, and that's going to do it. 3 up, 3 down for Salmon to get things going for Texas, who leads Stanford 1-0 after 1. One inning in the books for this top 10 tussle that everyone has had circled on the calendar this season. Jenna Becerra with you alongside my partner Greg Wong. The Longhorns ended last season hoisting the trophy in Oklahoma City. The Cardinal, on the other hand, just lost in the if necessary game in a thrilling Eugene Regional. Both teams in the top 10 right now at this point in the season. The 11th meeting all time between these two squads. First pitch, a strike to Wells, who is leading off at 7-8-9 for the Longhorns.
And they bring back a good-sized core of that title team, but in this lineup, the bottom 4 batters are all freshmen. And if you include Altmaier, who is a transfer, they're all players that were not a part of the team a season ago.
These two squads also did meet last year in the preseason, almost a year exactly to the day. That was in Tucson. Arizona played host for this trio of ranked teams. Cardinal got the win 9-5. It was a big-time win for them at the time. Bit of a merry-go-round, though. Stanford beating Texas, Texas beating Arizona, Arizona beating Stanford last year. The ACC, SEC, Big 12 presence here this weekend. It's 0-2 here to Hannah Wells. Grounded, left side. Mailer with the strong throw to first. 1 away for the Cardinal. Fiorelena Kraus, that's exactly what you're looking to do here coming out in that second inning, getting a quick out number 1.
First inning, she allowed the 1 run, but just the 1 hit. The leadoff hit to Maloney. And then, of course, there was the missed catch at first base. So, has not been barreled up too much here first go around through the Texas lineup.
Now it's the freshman, Matea Lawson, out of Illinois. Made the 2026 D100 freshman watch list for D1 softball. Was All-State in high school at Victor J. Andrew. On the travel ball side, multiple all-tournament awards as well as championship series appearances. That's in the sky, just foul on the right side. Nearly a bloop single.
Mentioned the game they played last year. Texas did not have a lot of losses, so you hang your hat on if you were one of the teams that did deliver them. Just 12 losses. All last season, program record 56 wins.
They beat the prior year's record at 55, one up themselves, and got a natty on top of it, first in program history. Fouls it straight back, took some off that pitch. Staying alive is Lawson.
We've already seen a little bit of Longhorn blood in this stadium this season. This coaching staff, which won coaching staff of the year last season. And one of Mike White's big assistants, Steve Singleton, now the coach at Cal.
That one misses to fill the count, 3-2. Mike White in his 8th season as a skipper over at Texas. Jessica Allister in her 9th for Stanford. Both coached together at one point as well. Allister an assistant for White when he was at Oregon. That is grounded to the right side. Big hop. Shepard hangs on to it just in time. Showing some poise out there for the freshman to make that play, 2 away.
A little deliberation by the Texas coaching staff. And I think, Mike White has just signaled for them to review this.
Definitely a bang play. So we will have that review. And Smokey Ed's behind the plate today, by the way, for this one. Hartley Hines over at first base. Jeremy Carter rounding out the crew in blue.
It's the all names umpiring crew today. Smokey Eds, Hartley Hines. Jeremy Carter also. That's a good name too. But
some veterans.
To the naked eye, we're a long way from where Hartley Hines was who made the call, but I thought that was a good call. It did look like she was out by maybe half a step. We're getting a look at the big Jumbotron right now. It is, as you said, I mean, that's the definition of bang bang. They're giving us a great shot.
This is inside the stadium, of course. Not able to see it on the that are here at Stanford Softball Stadium can see this replay.
It's literally exactly what they're looking at.
One thing you think about, too, Joey Economides really didn't attempt the stretch over at first base, something that you would like to see in this situation.
Yeah, so we're looking at the in-stadium scoreboard, the foot. It's hard to tell whether it's touching the bag or not when the ball hits the back of the glove of Economides. As he said, she did not stretch for it. Her arm is a little bent receiving the throw.
And here's the decision. After review, they're going to call her out and confirm the call. So the umpiring crew will keep the bases clean, and it will be 2 away as it stands.
I think that was just a case, and they did say the call stands. Not enough to overturn. I think, if anything, it was a tie. And in that case, it's usually whatever the call was on the field.
Here's J.C. Nichols. Inside outs it, flared into foul territory. That'll fall. Nichols, another freshman on this team, Oklahoma native, also on the D100 freshman watch list for D1 softball. 4-time state champion in high school. 3-time slow pitch state champion. On top of it, also played basketball, did long jump in track and field. Very athletic. That's off the plate. Good eyes from Nichols. Rounding out the order in the 9th spot, but hitting .412 so far in her freshman campaign. OPS over 1.2. Takes the off speed in for a strike. Nice changeup from Kraus.
Obviously, huge shoes to fill. One of the major vacancies in the Texas lineup is their longtime leader, Mia Scott.
Off the end of the bat, scooping it up is Shepard right by second base. A 1-2-3 inning for Elena Kraus and company. It's still 1-0 as we head to the bottom of the second. It's 4, 5, 6 due up for Stanford, Gall, Shepard, and Chan. Inning and a half in the books. Bottom of the second inning here with the Cardinal picking up the bats for the second time. It was a 1-2-3 inning for Cambria Salmon the first go around. Now it's 4, 5, 6 due up with Ava Gall leading things off. She's going to be in that designated player role today. She has been a big pickup to get back in the lineup this year after missing out last season.
And just to clarify from last inning what I was saying about Mia Scott is it's a huge vacancy at third base. Nichols is playing shortstop. She played third base in their first game.
Skied out to right field. Camped under it, making the grab is Maloney. 1 down.
And they've got Lawson, another freshman, in at third here for game 2.
Mia Scott playing on an ACL injury all last season. Just absolute resiliency and toughness. Ended up playing professionally as well with the AUSL last summer. A lot of Longhorns making it to that big stage after their collegiate careers. Addison Shepard takes ball 1. The freshman's out of Kingwood, Texas. Texas native going up against the Longhorns. Another one to watch. She also competed with Team USA in the World Cup finals this past summer. A 2-0 count here early. Shepard was one that Coach Allister was a little extra excited about. 435 now she's hitting already this season. She's got double-digit hits, including 3 doubles and a home run. She's got power. She's got discernment at the plate as she takes ball 3. Immediate impact that she has here in her young career. Four straight balls. Shepard will earn the walk, and the first base runner is aboard for the Cardinal.
It's funny, we have so many players who have a lot of history between these two clubs, but with the lineup that both teams are throwing out there, we've been talking a lot about players that have not faced off against each other very often. Likes of Shepard and Krause, of course, starting for Stanford, and we're talking about all the freshmen that are on the field for Texas.
Bunt attempt there from the senior, Kira Chan.
Even you date back to 2024, that was when these two teams faced off twice in the College World Series. Texas eliminated Stanford. They ended up losing to Oklahoma in the championship series.
That misses off the plate to even the count. And that's the thing about this Texas team. They finally got over the hump last season to get that national championship, but they were in 3 of the last 4 championship series in Oklahoma. Even got the win over OU specifically for the first time in the state of Oklahoma in Mike White's tenure. That's out to left field, going back to the track, off the wall, hits the 200. Coming around is Shepard to tie things up, and she'll do it standing up. The RBI double from Kira Chan. We're tied up 1-1.
Really nice job opposite field hitting by Kira Chan. And a little bit of a tough read there in the outfield, trying to judge that carom of how it was going to play off the wall. But, you know, if that does play a little truer towards her, she might have had a shot at the plate, but it just bounded away from her.
Joey Economides now stepping in. It's a 1-0 count. Runner still in scoring position with Chan over at second base. Economides made a lot of noise her freshman season last year. Strike sneaks in there. Hit the first home run in Stanford Stadium, meaning the football stadium that the Cardinal played in last year, while their new stadium that we're in right now is getting renovated. Took some off that. Going with it is Economides, and it's foul by a few feet.
She waited nicely on that pitch. That was a well-balanced swing, sending it the opposite way. And she was dialed to it.
Sophomore, West Covina, California native, was on the 3rd team in the ACC as well as the freshman team, all-academic team. Hit 356, now protecting 1 and 2. In the dirt, taken off, no hesitation is Chan. She moves up to third base.
Of course, that's the other part of not having Atwood back there. She is maybe the best catcher in collegiate softball, and she is just outstanding defensively, too.
A tough wild pitch for Stewart.
Yeah, no chance for Stewart on that one.
Swing and a miss. Salmon gets Economides. That's the first strikeout of the ball game we've seen on either side.
It's a good pitch. Economides was out in front. Looked like he was looking for something faster. And obviously with that wild pitch sending Chan to third, it's a big strikeout.
Izzy Kakatian, the freshman from Torrance. She'll take ball one from Salmon. Kakatian along with Shepard, both on that D1 softball freshman watch list coming into the season. Kakatian also lettering in flag football, was a starting QB as a junior. A lot of athleticism between these two squads. 2-0. And a conversation will happen here in the circle. Salmon Stewart trying to get on the same page. We still have the 2 outs. Chan over at third base. It's a 2-0 count here to Kakatian. And Jones awaits on deck in that 9 spot should she get the opportunity. And not always do you see an All-American in the 9 spot. Shows the strength of the Stanford lineup offensively, 1 through 9. She's hitting .348 this season. Kakatian, .429 for her start. 3 hits and just 7 at-bats so far. Has already put a check mark next to her first collegiate home run this season. Popped up in the dirt, calling everyone off over at second base, and squeezing it is Leanne Good. The Longhorns will get out of the jam, but not before it's tied up. Thanks to Kira Chan and the RBI double, 1 apiece as we head to the third. The SEC-ACC battle here in the Bay Area continues. We're tied up at 1 apiece with number 10, Stanford, the hosts, and number 3, Texas. Longhorns, of course, repping the all burnt orange uniforms today. The Cardinal representing the all whites with the pinstripes, a brand new addition that they have debuted this season. Top 10 tussle, with 2 teams expected to be in the top tier of their respective conferences. Not a surprise to see Texas picked first in the SEC. They had 9 first-place votes among the coaches. OU with 6 right behind them. Cardinal picked third in the ACC. They had a couple of first-place votes too, but fell behind regular season reigning champs Florida State and the tournament champs Clemson. We do have some defensive adjustments for the Cardinal. Taryn Kern over at first base now, moving in from right field. Kira Chan moves back to right field where she typically has been. Back to the top of the order as Maloney takes ball 1 upstairs for Kraus. Maloney, of course, singled to lead things off back in the top of the first. By the way, Jordana King out in left field for the Cardinal to round out the changes. Going inside, but just misses. 2-0 count here to Maloney. Maloney, a redshirt senior from Missouri. All SEC second team last year, defensive team as well. We've seen her showing off a bit already today. Takes the off speed for ball 3. Asking for help is Eds. Confirmed she did not go. .30 count. A 4-pitch walk. Kraus putting some speed on the base paths right away as Maloney reaches for the second time today. First time around, the fielder's choice off the bat of Caden Henry. Maloney was erased at second base. She'll be at first with no outs here as Henry steps in again. Coming back with the strike is Kraus. Henry, of course, the junior out of Dickinson, Texas. I think Texas fans would say she's a bit underrated nationally. Lays down a beautiful bunt, textbook. Kraus with the bare hand, not in time. Caden Henry with the small ball. Head coach Jessica Allister asking for the video review. Some frustration there from the Stanford dugout, but the wheels of Henry will certainly always be a threat. So call in the field is that she is safe. If it holds up, that would put 2 speedy runners aboard. Maloney at second, Henry at first with no outs, and then 3, 4, 5 due up for the Longhorns. Taking a look at the video board here out in left field at Stanford Softball Stadium. Some of the replays that are being shown inside the venue. As the umpiring crew will get multiple looks, multiple angles. They have even more angles than what we're able to show on the broadcast or on the video screen. And with those all orange uniforms today, blends a little bit with that safety bag over at first base. Video review, a hot topic in the softball world, and we're going to get the decision right here. Upon review, the call is reversed. Henry is called out over at first base. Slick defensive play from Kraus helping herself out, and it's 1 away. Henry still successful in advancing Maloney into scoring position. We are going to see a change here as Elena Kraus will hand over the ball to the sophomore lefty in Zoe Pristyko. 2 1/3 innings in the books for Kraus. As Pristyka, as we've called her, she has reached a career high strikeout total multiple times already this season. All 4 appearances, this will be her 5th. Started with the opening day win against Oklahoma State. Had a career high 9 Ks in that one. Matched it since and has since even increased that to 11 strikeouts. So Zoe per strikeout. Bringing it from that left side. Pristyko, of course, got the win, throwing 6 2/3 non-consecutive innings. That was over then number 14 Oregon here last weekend. The Cardinal Classic, that's when she got that career high 11 Ks. She's somebody who Coach Allister said really went to work in the offseason, knew what she needed to work on to get even better, and has felt a lot more comfortable, she said, in the circle this season in her sophomore campaign. Leanne Good will be the first to face her today. Laid down the sack, ended up getting on as well as it wasn't handled over at first base. Last time she was up. 571 she's hitting this season. It was 295 just a season ago, and she has cranked it up here. That's upstairs. Patience from Good as it's now 2-0. It's fouled, yanked well into the stands. It'll be on top of the brand new stadium concourse ceiling here. Some of the upgrades that they have made in the renovations here at Stanford Softball Stadium include 3 levels. There's 2 levels of seating for fans now. And then, of course, the 3rd level with the press box and space for the staff as that's fouled back into the net. They've added bathrooms, concessions, all of those things within the concourse here at Stanford Softball Stadium. And of course, home and away, team spaces, locker rooms. That's going to come in and hit her. Good will get the hit by pitch, takes one for the team. Finds her way on base for the 2nd time in as many plate appearances. So 2 aboard. At 1st and 2nd for Katie Stewart. She walked last time. Kraus being extra careful and intentional, and this is exactly why. K-Stu knocks it out of the park, a 3-run shot. That is her 2nd of the day against a ranked foe, and Texas is on top 4-1. The patience from Katie Stewart, knowing she didn't see a strike last time up, but she was still going to be aggressive, anything in her wheelhouse, and she just attacks. Katie Stewart, the all-women's College World Series team last year. She was hitting nearly 600 coming into this ball game. And that is already her 6th home run of the season. So the Longhorns put up a crooked number here in the top of the 3rd, still just the 1 out. And fans, especially in the burnt orange, on their feet as Reese Atwood gonna step in to pinch hit. That was Kaya Altmaier due up. Takes a pitch inside. Atwood had been hit in the head earlier today, taken out of the game out of an abundance of caution. That's why we hadn't seen her behind the dish either. But getting an opportunity here. Led the nation in RBIs a season ago, and swinging there, fouls it back. I have an affinity for calling her Reese Batwood. 2-time All-American at this point, known for that 3-0 pitch that she swung at against Nigeri Kennedy in the Champ Series at the World Series that made the difference in Game 1. Takes the off-speed there. Just a gutsy, gutsy player. Defensively, too, you know, National Catcher of the Year last year and the Johnny Bench Award winner. 1-2. Swing and a miss! What a response from Zoe per strikeout. Gets a big one here. Sits down Reese Atwood to get out number 2. And if you're pitching coach Danielle O'Toole Trejo, you're wanting to see that kind of response. After you give up something big like that home run to Stewart, what are you going to do next? And a big out to sit down Atwood. First pitch from Alyssa Sneed is fouled straight back. She grounded out to 3rd base to end the 1st. Swinging strike there, jumping ahead 0-2. Composure that Zoe Pristyko is showing is part of that process of maturing and growing from freshman year to sophomore year, as that's fouled off the leg of Sneed. The 0-2. Swing and a miss. Back-to-back Ks. Zoe per strikeout. Responding, but a giant 3-run bomb from Katie Stewart gives the lead back to Texas. They are up 4-1 heading into the bottom of the third inning. 9-1-2 due up for the Cardinal. A 4-1 lead for the Texas Longhorns after the 3-run shot from Katie Stewart in the top of the third inning. Here in the bottom half, they are bringing out the big guns. The Longhorns bring out the ace, Tegan Cavan, the most outstanding player in the Women's College World Series just last season. Already got the win earlier today against number 16 Arizona. Coming in here today, hoping to maintain and keep intact that lead that Texas currently has. A 3-0 record on the season for Cavan. 20 innings pitched, 29 Ks to 5 walks on the year. A 3.5 ERA coming into this. She'll go up against 9-1-2. First time Emily Jones has been in the box so far today, the All-American from a year ago. Thinks about show and bunt, pulls back to take ball one. With Cavan coming into the circle, Katie Stewart moves over to first base. And yes, Reese Atwood staying in the game behind the dish. That's lifted into the outfield. Henry ranging over into left center to make the catch. One down. First batter Tegan Cavan faces is retired. Back to the top of the order. The Cardinal now have gone one time through. Curran, of course, last time facing the starter, Cambria Salmon, who had 2 innings pitched in the books. Curran takes ball one. Cavan went the distance earlier today. A full 7 innings against an Arizona lineup that is tough to face. She sneaks a strike in right there. That was her 4th win on the season, actually. 10 strikeouts. One. Kern swings through that one to make it 1-2. Grounded out to second base last time up. Did the San Jose native, the senior. All ACC 3rd team last year, 3-time All-Region honoree. In addition to that All-American year as a freshman. In the air, foul territory, making the catch near the wall. Out in left. Nice job by Alyssa Sneed. Having that spatial awareness in foul territory, making it look easy. Back-to-back flyouts. And that'll bring up River Mailer with 2 outs. She flew out to center field her first time up. Washington native had an All-American season and a career best in multiple statistical categories a year ago. Mailer's been in the middle infield her entire career, second base as a freshman, shortstop ever since. Thinks about bunting. Ball's in the other batter's box. Just the lone hit on the day being that RBI double from Kira Chan that tied it up at the time in the second. Popped up, shallow left. Calling everyone off is Sneed. 3 straight flyouts for Tegan Kavan. It's a 1-2-3 inning to maintain the 4-1 lead after 3. Top of the 4th coming up next. Top of the 4th, bottom of the order due up for the Texas Longhorns, trying to add to that 4-1 lead over the Stanford Cardinal. Zoe Prestryko coming in an inning ago to relieve the starter, Elena Kraus. The 3-run shot from Katie Stewart made the difference to give that 4-1 lead to the Longhorns. Prestryko responding with back-to-back strikeouts to get out of that 3rd. Now Hannah Wells leading off here in the 4th. First pitch just misses from the lefty. The 1-0. Thought about it, but held to take ball 2. Hannah Wells, another freshman on this squad, another Texas native on this squad. 3-time state champion in high school, MVP of the state championship game. Fouls it straight back. A 5-time All-American in various outlets as a high school player. Top 10 ranked in extra innings in terms of recruits. Swinging through 2-1 to even it up. A 2-2 count. Just 2 hits on the day for Texas, but they have been devastating. Swing and a miss. 3rd straight strikeout for Zoe Prestryko. All 3 of them swinging dating back to the last inning. She'll retire Hannah Wells, and that'll bring up Matea Lawson. Grounded out to second base her last time up. Launches this one into the outfield. Little air under it, and Emily Jones will make the catch in front of the warning track in right center. A quick second out for Prestryko. soft liner. Over to Shepard. Right by second base last time. Takes a strike one here. Curveball well off the plate. Even count now, 1-1. Such an interesting balance for this Texas team, returning quite a bit of talent from that national championship squad just a year ago, but some of the young bloods as well, adding some flavor like Nichols. She'll take ball 2 to make it 2-1. 5 freshmen in total on that D1 softball D100 watch list coming into this. That's foul into the stands above the Texas dugout. Head coach Mike White stacking the recruiting classes. So much talent, including 3 All-Americans, a program high since 2013 last year. A swing and a miss there from Pristyko. She has struck out 4 of the last 5, and it's a 1-2-3 inning in the top of the 4th. Texas with the 4-1 lead. Cardinal trying to bounce back in the bottom half. Back at it here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. First pitch to Jade Berry, swung on and missed for strike 1. The 0-1 count here to Berry, who's trying to get something going here for the Cardinal. They scored in the 2nd. She nearly does that, but the sinking line drive handled by Caden Henry. Kavan has retired 4 straight since entering in relief for Cambria Salmon. Ava Gall now stepping in. She flew out to right field first time up. Took a little off it in their first strike.
Obviously, Kavan 2 years ago when Texas had that big postseason against Stanford, she was the one that basically shut the door because Nigeri Kennedy.
It's popped up in foul territory. Miscommunication there between third and behind the plate. That's going to fall. Another life for Ava Gall.
Yeah, just like she did last year, she was able to outduel Nigeri Kennedy, and it really just had no margin for error, did Nigeri, when during that postseason, Stanford did not score a run against Texas.
In the dirt. 1 and 2 now to Gall. And by the way, it looks like Hannah Wells behind the dish. Atwood did come in for that pinch hitting opportunity. defensively. Wells moving from where she started at first base to behind the plate. In the dirt once more. 2-2. You know, a lot of people on the national stage, and rightfully so, talk a lot about the big three. Nigeri Kennedy, Carlin Pickens from Tennessee, Jordy Fromm, formerly known as Jordy Ball at Nebraska. But Tegan Cavan, the one getting it done at the end last season, the most outstanding player at the World Series. That's up and in.
That was that 2024 season. I mean, that was Stanford was a part of for Cavan. She threw 14 straight scoreless innings.
And a swing and a miss right there. That's her first strikeout of the day. 6 nearly. That's number 5 straight in retired hitters.
She started her Women's College World Series career by throwing 14 straight shutout innings, and that was as a true freshman.
Did not allow an earned run in over 30 innings pitched at the World Series last year.
That's good.
Yeah, program high 6 wins on that stage as well, and we're talking about a program that has the likes of Kat Osterman, a 3-time National Player of the Year, 3-time ESPY winner, one of the greatest in the circle and just in softball in general. She also won a 4th ESPY with the Olympic team as well for a team performance, best Olympic performance, in addition to just the best female collegiate athlete award 3 times. Cavan's in good company. Conversation complete. Addison Shepard takes strike 1.
Remember them talking last year, and Jessica Mendoza and among the other commentators during the World Series about how she was mainly a rise ball pitcher 2 seasons ago, but he's really added to her arsenal. Last year she incorporated the drop ball, which just gave her this whole new dimension.
And that's exactly what it is, multi-dimensional. You have to change planes, you have to be able to change speeds. We've seen her do that a little bit against Stanford so far in her appearance. These teams are just too good in the box. You have to keep them off balance. That's fouled.
Obviously paid off at the end of last season with, as what you just said, that just superhuman performance.
She was top 25 finalist for National Player of the Year too, of course an All-American, first team All-SEC. In the first season, this squad was in that conference. Popped up right on the edge of the grass. Making the catch is Nichols, and it's 6 straight retired by Tegan Cavan. The 4-1 lead still intact for Texas over Stanford. 4 innings done, top of the 5th up next. Twice through the order now for Texas. Back at the top here with Ashton Maloney. A base hit and a walk so far. She's done exactly what you want that leadoff spot to do. Swinging strike there as she faces Prstyko for the first time. Prstyko came in for the starter Elena Kraus after 2 1/3 innings. Curveball catches the corner to make it 0-2. Going for the slap, takes ball 1. Maloney, second team all SEC last year. A conference high 7 honorees, all in the first and second team for this Texas squad. That's off the plate. Working it back to 2-2. It's also a Texas offense that not only did they have the program record of 56 wins, but multiple categories statistically did they lead the nation. That's grounded up the middle to the left, scooped up, fired to first, not in time. Too much speed for Ashton Maloney, her second single of the day.
And that's why it's just so tough and why she just gets hit after hit. No question why she has been leading off for so long in this Texas lineup. Because as long as she gets bats a ball, she's got a good chance to reach.
And this squad knows exactly how to reach. 630 hits, led the country last year. Second with 460 RBIs, third in batting average with 352. So that's in for a strike to Caden Henry. Stanford second in the nation with a 354 average last season. Just off the plate. Good eyes from Caden Henry to make it 1-1. She was another second team SEC honoree. Also all region first team. Just missed for 2-1. Henry also had a career year last year, a 409 average, 454 on base percentage, 85 hits, all the most in her career. 72 runs, led the team as well. Lifts it into right field. Shifting over is Kira Chan, who made that move from left to right earlier on. Staying at first base is Maloney.
I was watching Maloney. I mean, that's more indication of her speed. I mean, I'm not sure if she would have tagged up anyway or she would have tried to, but I mean, she was basically at second base when the ball was about to be caught, and she made it back to first no problem.
And you know that about yourself, right? What your speed is, how much you can really risk in those situations. You know, what is the benefit going to be? Am I going to tag realistically? That wasn't that deep. Versus, do I try to get off the base as much as possible? Because if it does drop, then I can take off and take more than one base.
It was a ball to right field also. It must be nice to have that type of confidence.
Well struck on top of the batting cages in foul territory out and left by Leanne Good. An 0-2 count. Good. Laid down a sack, but ended up getting on base as well in the first inning. Hit by a pitch, came around to score on the Katie Stewart home run in the third. Way inside. Those 56 wins coming after 55 in 2024. First time in program history with 50-plus wins in back-to-back seasons for Texas. Chop to the left side. Mailer getting the lead runner at second. Try to go for 2, but Good in safely. So Maloney is erased for out number 2. Now the big bat in Katie Stewart. She was walked in the first, that 3-run shot in the third. Again, 6 home runs on the season already. I'm not surprised to see a conversation here with pitching coach Danielle O'Toole-Trejo in this moment.
What you're facing pitching-wise on the other side, obviously that is every single run you give up just makes the mountain exponentially taller, but it's also why I'm just so excited to watch these next few innings, because you talked about Stanford's gaudy offensive numbers from a year ago. Most of those players come back, and it's always so fun to see what is, I think, not hyperbole to say, best on best. You see some of the best hitters in the game facing off against one of the best pitchers.
Popped up into foul territory in the stands. And a fan catch. Hey, how about that? Round of applause, as he should get.
It's nicely done. Jessica Allister was checking it out too from the dugout.
She appreciates it. Former catcher, she appreciates that in the backstop. A quick 0-2 here to Stewart. For Steico so far, pounding the zone a little bit. Just want to be careful here with the potential waste pitch. Does so inside.
I think to your point, that's a situation where 0-2, when you go inside to Katie Stewart, you really want to make sure if you miss, you miss in a spot she cannot do damage, and that's what she did.
The 1-2. Upstairs, runner takes off. Beautiful throw from Kakatian, the freshman, down at second base. Good is caught stealing. Conventional 1-2-3 inning. Little momentum for the Cardinal here as we head to the bottom of the fifth. They still trail by 3. Back at it as we continue. Izzy Kakatian, the freshman behind the dish for Stanford, ending the top half of the inning. Catching the runner, trying to steal second base. Akira Chan now 6, 7, 8 due up. She'll lead off. She had the RBI double, the lone hit, as well as driving in the lone run for the Cardinal. First pitch swinging, strike 1.
That was just a seed from Kakatian to second base, and who knows, Stanford is able to make this closer. That could be a big play because you have Stewart at the plate. You take the bat out of her hands.
Chan gets under it. Communication in the outfield, little miscommunication on a bobble, but she hangs on to it. Sneed, not making it look easy, but making sure she handles it at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think it is pretty cloudy up above. Of course, you've been in the Bay Area, you know, we've just had a torrent of rain this week, and it is chilly, so I'm wondering if it is a little hard to see the ball this time of day.
Luckily the sun out today, but certainly something all week that has been a factor here. Of course, Stanford located in the South San Francisco Bay. Joey Economides started at first base. Some movement in the lineup. She's back in to hit. She'll take ball one.
Only a few players from California on Texas. Hopefully they did warn the rest of their teammates that just because we're going to California, it is not like we're going to the parts that really heat up. We're not going to the classic California sunshine, and this is more extreme with, I mean, I think today was a high in the mid to low 50s in most of the Bay.
Of course, the cold snap in Texas and then even further more southeast in the country recently. So hoping for it to be a little warmer, I think, when they came here.
Who knows? This could be a warm-up for them anyway.
A little bit. 54 degrees right now here in Stanford, California. It's a little bit better than the 30s that Texas was facing not too long ago. A 2-1 count here to Economides. She struck out her first time up. Of course, that was going up against Salmon. That misses to make it 3-1. Hitters count here. Economides off to a little bit slower start here in her sophomore campaign after hitting 15 home runs in year one. Takes the off speed for a strike. Man, you gotta have confidence to throw that pitch on a 3-1 count. Payoff pitch. Waits on it. Off the glove of Kavan. Stewart comes off first base. It's a foot race. Diving in time is Katie Stewart. She did it with the bat. Now she's doing it with the glove.
That's just an outstanding play by Stewart. As that not only, I mean, the diving stop is one thing, but to just stay with that after a deflection to reroute yourself to the ball. And then I think that was the only way she would have been able to get to the base in time, was to take that dive and hit it with a mitt. 2 dives on 1 play.
Little unconventional 1-3 play in the books. The first pitch from Kavan misses to Izzy Kakatian. She popped up to the right side. Her first time up. Off the plate inside. Two-0 count here with 2 outs. In there for a strike. Had a chance to chat with Tegan Kavan after they won the national championship. On the field, it's still fresh. The World Series this last year, and so team-oriented despite her individual success. She sneaks in strike 2. It's 2-2 with 2 outs. Of course, when you have a defense working for you like that, hey, that doesn't hurt. Staying alive is Kakatian.
Think about all the pressure she had, too. I mean, you mentioned it, that Mike White could just have the reputation of being one of these decorated head coaches that just could not get over the largest hump, and just some bad luck, some heartbreak throughout his career. And you get somebody like Tegan Kavan, and she knows the history of this Texas program, and for her to just blitz through everybody like she did.
And blitzes through this hitter right here, the backwards K for Tegan Kavan. Another 1-2-3 inning. That is 3 straight, 9 straight retired. Texas still leads 4-1 heading to the 6th. Top of the 6th inning, it has been a good one so far between the number 3 Texas Longhorns and the number 10 Stanford Cardinal. Longhorns up 4-1. The action came in the first 3 innings. Some goose eggs put up on the board the last couple between these two squads. The biggest difference, of course, the 3-run home run from Katie Stewart back in the 3rd inning. She is leading off here. And we do have one defensive update for Stanford as freshman Sophia Jin is out in left field. First pitch swinging, fouled into herself. Of course, she gets to hit again. Yes, we did see her at the end of that last one, but because Kakatian caught good stealing at second base while Katie Stewart was up, she's back up here in this one.
Usually you don't want to see Katie Stewart up
Again.
multiple times or 2 straight innings, but this is one of the exceptions.
Jumping ahead quickly, 0-2 is Pristaiko.
Always love these matchups, especially with Pristaiko this season having seemingly reinvented herself or just taken such a big step as you come back after you give up the long home run and see how she attacks hitters after that.
And gets the 3-pitch strikeout. What a response from Zoe per strikeout. That's her 3rd K of the day. And it's a big one.
And remember, she had her down 2 strikes. She got ahead 0-2 in the last inning also. And so I know it's small consolation after giving up a 3-run homer, but just like you said, good to see.
Actually 5th K of the day, but going back for this is Jin. It's going to hit the top of the wall, bounces back in. Atwood was in to hit. Reese Batwood standing on second base. I think some of the Texas fans thought that might have been a home run. But right now it's a 2-bagger. So the conversation here now is Mike White chatting with Smokey Eds, making some changes, a pinch hitter. Due up was Alyssa Sneed. Now hitting instead will be Viviana Martinez, the junior, Arizona native. She, of course, was at shortstop earlier today against Arizona. Redshirted last year with that ACL injury we mentioned. Had a good start so far, hitting .350 coming into this on the season as she has returned into this lineup.
I think Texas, they are hunting for the kill shot right now. They had Stewart due up to start the inning. Then they get this double by Atwood, and now they have another good hitter in Martinez coming up. And on a lot of days, this is the best of the best. Just in this game 2 of their doubleheader today, they are starting a lot of freshmen early.
Martinez will take ball 1. Runner in scoring position with 1 out. That misses off the plate. Back in 2024 was a D1 softball All-American, All-Region in the NFCA, Big 12 at the time, 2nd team, prior to the realignment with Texas going to the SEC. 3 straight balls. Due up on deck would be Hannah Wells. That one catches the corner to make it 3-1. Swung on. Foul territory. Right near the grassy knoll on the left side here at the stadium. Always see a lot of kids on those berms on both sides. It's a favorite, especially for the families who come out to watch. Full count. Grounded left side. Mailer with the throw over to first. They'll get the sure thing. Vivi Martinez is retired. Atwood advances over to third base. 2 away.
As you would expect, River Mailer right on top of it. Runner going from second to third, especially with 2 outs. You're just trying to get that sure out at first base. She did not even bat an eye as she broke to third.
First pitch swinging is Wells. Gonna be an 0-1 count. Wells 0 for 2 so far today. Grounded out to short. Struck out her last time up. 4 hits on the day in total for the Longhorns. A couple of extra bases. It's fouled back again. Couple singles from Ashton Maloney, the home run from Katie Stewart, and the double from Atwood.
That had to be, what, like a couple inches from being a home run?
Already the program home run leader in terms of career long balls. Swung on and missed there, and Zoe Prstyko gets another one. Runner is stranded over at third base. The Cardinal, 6 more outs to work with to try to crawl back into this one. Cardinal trail 4-1 to the Longhorns here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Stanford with 1 hit so far on the day, the RBI double from Kira Chan. And this is a squad that has been led by head coach Jessica Alster. Now in her 9th season, 2 wins away from 300 as the head coach at Stanford. Nearly 600 in total in her head coaching career overall. Of course, was a player at Stanford, an All-American catcher. And spent 7 seasons at Minnesota as a head coach before coming here, but in between, an assistant coach at her alma mater, and then 1 year as an assistant for Mike White when he was at Oregon. Swing and a miss from the pinch hitter, Sydney Bulifin. She is in to hit for Emily Jones. Bulifin known for some pinch hit home runs last year as a freshman. Coach Alster trying to do something a little bit different this inning. In case you're wondering, we're used to seeing Reese Atwood wear the number 14. That's fouled out of play. She's rocking 18 today. So if you're tracking and paying attention, following along, you'll notice that when she was on the base paths and behind the dish right now.
Jersey still in the laundry or didn't make the trip, I don't know.
Laced into right center field by Bulifin. Coming around trying to take 2 bases. She'll do it standing up. The leadoff. Base runner in scoring position. Exactly what the Cardinal needed.
These are always just the situations I think Jessica Allister really likes watching. We're going to get a pinch runner over at second base, but your offense facing adversity, just 2 hits. This does not happen often to this Cardinal attack. This year they have picked up where they left off. They're going against one of the best pitchers in the nation, and now you got a chance to show your stuff with only 6 outs to play with.
That's Emily Jones, who re-entered at second base after Bulletin hit for her, and it's top of the order with Taryn Kern. Takes ball 1 upstairs. Kern grounded out, flew out. Looking to find something in between here in this third AB.
Exactly 1. Bulletin gets on base. Now you got the top of the order.
Kavan catches that outside corner.
Taryn Kern's 0 for 2, which means that she's due. The way she's swinging.
Swings at that one, breaking off the plate there away from her. Kavan getting that 1-2 count. That one's off the plate. Gets away from Atwood, but she handles it. Jones stays at second. Of course, Jessica Allister has now taken this Stanford program to 6 straight NCAA appearances. In total, 22. Swing and a miss there from Kern. A big-time strikeout for Kavan. 1 down. Third K of the day for Tegan Kavan. River Mailer takes ball 1. She has flown out twice. Popped up. It'll drift just out of reach of Lawson, hitting the top of the backstop on the side.
Yeah, that was in play. I think Lawson had more room than she thought. Kind of short-armed it.
Yeah, I was talking about really wanting to sprint over there and then make an adjustment versus kind of jogging. Sprint over there, put your hand out, know the spatial awareness, and then make the play. Mailer lifts this into left. In front of the warning track, Sneed makes the grab. Jones scurries back to second. So after allowing the leadoff double to the pinch hitter, Bulletin, a strikeout and a flyout has been produced by Tegan Kavan. Jade Berry looking for her first hit of the day. Takes a strike inside. Just 2 hits on the day for Stanford. Both have been doubles. That's fouled back. Jade Berry, of course, also gets to see her sister, Janae Berry, who transferred from Indiana to Arizona. Might potentially get to face off against her in the box with Janae in the circle when those 2 teams go at it tomorrow. The postponed game from yesterday that was supposed to open things up in the DeMarini Invitational for the Cardinal against the Wildcats, postponed due to sundown. West Valley College yesterday playing host to kick off this weekend. They do not have lights, so they had to push it. Hanging on to it, Reese Atwood helping out Tegan Kavan. 3 retired straight after that double. The 3rd straight goose egg on the board for this Texas defense. We'll head to the last inning, the 7th coming up. Top of the 7th inning. Zoe Pristyko still in the circle for the Cardinal, who trail the Longhorns 4-1. Matea Lawson leading things off for Texas, who would like to add to their lead before heading into the bottom of the 7th. First pitch misses from Pristyko. Lawson grounded out, flew out her last 2 at-bats. Hitting .238 this season. Grounded. Forehand from Shepard. Nice angle on the throw to first base. Well executed for out number 1. She made that look a lot easier than it is on defense. Your momentum taking you to your left, a forehand for her in that 3-4 hole, but then having to set your feet to make the throw over to first base at a different angle. Textbook. Looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter here. Due up was J.C. Nichols. Victoria Hunter, the junior out of Houston, Texas, will step in. Hitting .222 so far this year. Lifts this one deep into the outfield. Drifting into foul territory at the warning track. Sophia Jin makes the grab. And a quick 2 up, 2 down. Back to the top of the order. Ashton Maloney, 2 for 2 with a walk so far today. Ball from the lefty just misses off the plate. Beautifully placed. Pristyko, no play. It doesn't get much better than that for the lefty slapper. 3rd single of the day for Maloney.
Yeah, if you're new to watching Ashton Maloney, and I know a lot of people were introduced to her the last couple of seasons as Texas has made their deep runs of the postseason. This is not uncommon for her. That's just what she does, and she's so good at it. Barely even hit the ball out of the infield today. In fact, I know the last couple she has not. Still, you get the hits because of her speed.
Henry swinging away at the first one there, fouls it down the right side. Caden Henry 0 for 2 so far today. Did reach on a fielder's choice back in the first, scored on the sac fly from Kaya Altmaier. That was the first run of the ball game.
Wondering if we see Maloney take off here, try to get in scoring position.
Off the plate.
2 outs. Texas already in good position. They're up 3 with Kavan on the in the circle, but want to just take that extra base, see if you can get another run.
Pulls back on the bunt. Take ball 2. Maloney did have 11 stolen bases a season ago.
On the other hand, Caden Henry is another player. She just gets bats a ball, and you might be running for a while.
And if she gets on base, it really gets dicey for the defense. 33 stolen bases in 2025. Standing in there to hit. You can see her lay down a bunt at any given time. You can see her slap, and now she's hitting away here in the 7th. Triple threat. Off the end of the bat. Back to Pristyko. The spin move for the lefty over to first. Maloney is stranded, and it's down to the final 3 outs for Stanford. They trail 4-1 versus Texas. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Stanford Cardinal down to their final outs. Ava Gall, Addison Shepard, Kira Chan due up, going up against the ace, Tegan Kavan. She has been outstanding since she entered back in the 3rd inning in relief for Cambria Salmon, and she'll start with strike 1. Just 1 hit allowed. 4 strikeouts. A little over 50 pitches thrown in this one. And that was after the full 7 innings where she went 107 earlier today in a doubleheader with number 16 Arizona and number 10 Stanford. That is one of the toughest slates today around the country. Gall fouls it off.
Stanford last year, and I just did this quickly, so assuming that I got it all right, that last year they only scored a run or less twice. And once was in a loss to Arizona, the other was when they were shut out in the ACC tournament to Duke.
One-two count to Gall. Lined right into the glove of Lawson at 3rd base. Good bat on the ball there. The defense hanging strong.
So, if you take that back to 2024, that was when Kavan tossed those couple gems against them in the College World Series, shut them out twice. Some of the only times that Stanford has not been able to produce offense literally in the last 2+ years.
Those most recent World Series appearances, 2023, they lost twice to Oklahoma, made it to the semis. 2024, they lost twice to Texas, made it to the semis again. Texas, of course, made it to the Champ Series in 2024. Lost to Oklahoma in the 4-peat, their arch rival, but then turned around and beat them in Oklahoma City last year, and then made it to the Champ Series and got the win over Texas Tech. That's back up the middle, a base hit from Shepard. Little life from the Cardinal dugout here as they have one aboard.
Yeah, I was about to say, Stanford, they've hit into some outs last couple innings, but remember, that last one by Ava Gall was stung right to Lawson, and then they had another ball that was kicked by Kavan, and if she doesn't get a foot on it, it could have gone into the outfield. So maybe a couple hits that ended up in bad luck.
Kira Chan thinking about small ball here. It's going to be a strike from Kavan. It's the Stanford lineup that has been held in check by both Longhorn pitchers. Returned conference high 7 ACC honorees. Their 7 best hitters from a year ago when they had multiple program records offensively. And then you add back in Ava Gall this season, who's back from redshirting a year ago, who's a big stick. Adding in Addison Shepard. Really impressive work in the circle for Texas. That misses upstairs to Chan. She had that first hit, the double with the RBI back in the 2nd. Flew out to left back in the 5th. Fouls it off.
Really was fitting last year, the path that Texas took to win the title, considering they had to get through Oklahoma in the semis. This team that, as they know more than anybody else, just how annoying they have been over the years.
Tried to hold, did she go? Asking for help is Smokey Eds. They say she didn't. They couldn't get over the hump. The hump was mainly at Oklahoma during this run by Mike White. 15 out of 15 possible super regionals Mike White has been in, and that is launched into left field, hits the top of the wall. Shepard into third base, just in safely, did not opt to slide. A close one, and Chan standing on second.
Let's see if Mike White wants to take another look. I thought she got in at first glance, but Addison Shepard clearly just did not get a good read on the ball, and she ended up taking third. But as you said, I don't know if she expected that throw to come in and make that play so close, and I think she just did sneak in that foot.
Yeah, you got to slide in that situation. That's a learning moment right there for the freshman.
That's a situation where I didn't see what type of jump she got, but obviously that one was, it was either going to be off the wall or it was going out.
Just the one out here. Tying run at the plate with Joey Economides.
Well, Joey Economides early in her career has a penchant for big hits. And it's amazing how many she's already delivered. You mentioned the first one here. Of course, the Grand Slam against Oregon in that classic last postseason.
Yeah, 7 RBIs in that game. 3-run home run, the Grand Slam. Insane regional. It's a 2-0 count to her here. Waiting on deck would be Izzy Kakatian. Over the wide of the plate. Economides still early on in this one, but under 200 in her batting average so far this season. 0 for 2 so far today. That misses. 3-1.
Base to play with. She got a freshman, Kakatian, on deck. Talented but inexperienced. I wonder how aggressive she is coming into Economides here.
In their first strike, Economides thought maybe ball 4, but it's a full count.
Yeah, that's one where she swings. She might get jammed. That's just a perfect pitch. That just went right across the black.
Payoff pitch. Just off the plate. What a close one. Economides draws the walk and loads the bases up. The potential winning run now at the plate.
Unfortunately, we don't have the center field angle, so we can really see out and in. But, man, you talk about the first time the paint on the inside corner comes back with a 3-2 pitch that it doesn't get closer than that. And that'll make you think about it. And I think it definitely made Smokey Eds think.
Mylea Perez coming in to run for Joey Economides at first base. That is the potential tying run. So Alistair bringing in some speed. Right now, decent speed all around the board. Shepard at third, Chan at second. And now Perez over at first. Still just the one out. So for the Texas defense, can look to get that force at home, maybe turn 2 potentially, but really you're up by 3, so an out anywhere in the infield.
I think this is what you want for Jessica Alistair early in conference. Obviously, you want to build that resume as much as you can, but you get your freshman up in a huge pressure-packed situation early in her career.
That's out to right field. Is it deep enough? It will be for a sac fly RBI. Shepard coming in. That gets away at second base. Chan rounding third to come in. She slides in at home. Advancing over to third, Mylea Perez. The Cardinal. They're not done yet.
You don't expect that from a team that's been maybe the best in college softball the last couple of years, the reigning national champs. And that is just a critical mistake on a basic throw back into the infield. And it cost them multiple bases and a run. And now it just, the margin of error shrinks down entirely.
I'm not surprised to see a player-led conference in the circle right now with the entire infield as well as the battery. It is a one-run ball game. 2 runs coming across. Of course, the second out recorded as well on the sac fly from Kakatian. Shepard came in to score. Then Chan capitalizing on the miscue to come in to score. Perez now the tying run just 60 feet away for Emily Jones. That misses for ball 1.
We don't know if, veteran like Maloney throwing that ball in. Longtime teammates with Good at second base. I'm not sure, though, with Nichols and Good, little miscommunication, maybe to throw in wide, too.
Into the outfield, into left center, ranging over to make the grab and secure the W. Alyssa Sneed will ensure the 4-3 victory. Back-to-back top 20 wins for the Texas Longhorns today. The final score, 4-3, 5 hits for Texas, 4 for Stanford. And it was a close one, lived up to that top 10 billing.
What a wild game, too. And I mean, that 7th inning, that's exactly what you want. Texas's ace, the MVP of the postseason last year, the World Series. She goes right through the throat of the Cardinal order. And it comes down to the final at-bat. And who knows, we might see these teams a little later on this year.
Definitely postseason caliber matchup that we got a taste of in this one. As Texas now, with their 11th win of the season, they're 11-1. The Cardinal dropped to 8-2 so far this year. And for Stanford, this is the first one of the DeMarini Invitational, but more on deck as they will take on Arizona tomorrow morning. Texas will be back as well, and they'll also make their way to Santa Clara to take on the Broncos. And wow, it doesn't get much better than this. Any final thoughts, Greg?
Oh my gosh, it was just a great day of softball. So glad that we got these games in today here at the new dig, Stanford Softball Stadium. Everything was able to work out. Game times had to get moved up, but first of all, a big thank you to West Valley College for, in a pinch, hosting some great matchups. But for this venue, for this type of matchup, this is what you want. And, I mean, Tegan Cavan doing what she does, and against Stanford's lineup, she's almost been the only person in the country that's been able to do this against them over the past couple of years. And the 5 innings in game 2, and then against Arizona, she goes the distance. As you mentioned, that is as good as a 1-2 in the very same day, a dozen innings, only the 2 runs allowed. Pretty remarkable stuff by Tegan Cavan.
14 strikeouts in those 12 innings pitched. Cavan doing Cavan things, and of course, a difference maker offensively for Texas, Katie Stewart, with that 3-run bomb. Thank you, everyone, for joining us here today on ACC Network Extra for this SEC-ACC clash. My name's Jenna Becerra alongside my partner, Greg Wong, and on behalf of our entire crew, we appreciate you. Stick with us the rest of this weekend for the DeMarini Invitational as it continues. Again, this one, Texas wins 4-3 over Stanford.